Have you ever wondered how many animals are dying right now because help simply arrives too late? Today, we're changing that. Over the next few days, we'll attempt something that sounds almost impossible: save 1,000 animals from danger, disease, injury, starvation, poachers, and even war. Some of them have only hours left. Others have been waiting years for a second chance. And our very first rescue is already running out of time. This lion looks calm, but hidden inside her mouth is an infection that's spreading through her body. If it's left untreated, bacteria could enter her bloodstream and eventually reach her heart. In other words, this lion could die. So while she's safely under anesthesia, a team of veterinarians begins an emergency procedure. Every second matters. As the doctors work deeper into the infected tooth, they uncover years of damage. The infection is worse than expected. If this had gone unnoticed much longer, there might not have been anything anyone could do. Thankfully, after carefully removing the infection and sealing the tooth, the procedure is finally complete. The moment of truth arrives. As the anesthesia wears off, the lion slowly rises to her feet. She takes a few cautious steps, looks around, and walks away healthy, strong, and alive. One animal saved. 999 to go. But our next mission involves an animal that faces a very different threat. Somewhere across thousands of acres of protected land, several young rhinos are fighting a battle they can't win. Rhinos are extremely territorial. Normally, weaker rhinos simply move elsewhere. But because anti-poaching fences surround this reserve, there's nowhere left to escape. The strongest rhinos dominate food and water sources, while the weaker ones slowly lose ground until many eventually die. To save them, we need to relocate them. The challenge? First, we have to find them. A helicopter takes to the sky while teams search from below. Minutes pass. Then suddenly movement. The rhinos have been spotted. Now comes the difficult part. A tranquilizer dart must be delivered perfectly. Too little medication won't work. Too much can be dangerous. The shot flies. Direct hit. As the rhino gradually falls asleep, conservation teams rush into action. They fit a special anti-poaching collar capable of tracking unusual movement patterns. If poachers ever attack, the collar can alert nearby rangers. But that's not enough. A tiny tracking chip is carefully inserted into the rhino's horn. If criminals ever attempt to sell it illegally, authorities can trace it back. Everything possible is being done to protect this animal. Then the rhino is transported to a new territory where food is plentiful, competition is low, and survival is finally possible. A future that almost didn't exist. But while rhinos need relocation, our next animals need medicine immediately. And they're not exactly cooperative. Spread across enormous grasslands are dozens of giraffes at risk of deadly diseases. If an outbreak occurs, entire populations can disappear. The solution? Vaccinate every single one. Sounds easy. Until you realize giraffes don't exactly stand still. As soon as they spot us, they begin running, one after another. The only way to reach them is with specialized air-powered darts carrying life-saving vaccines. The first giraffe gets vaccinated, then another, and another. Soon it becomes a race against time. Every successful dart means another animal protected. Every missed opportunity leaves another life at risk. Hours later, after covering massive distances and chasing herd after herd, the final giraffe receives its vaccine. 70 giraffes protected, 70 lives potentially saved. But what we're about to encounter next makes everything so far seem simple. Because these lions aren't threatened by disease. They're threatened by war. For years, conflict has devastated parts of Ukraine. Bombings have damaged facilities. Resources have become scarce. Many rescued animals have been forced to survive in temporary shelters. Among them are 3 lions. And if they remain here, their future remains uncertain. So an extraordinary mission begins. A massive cargo aircraft is prepared. No passenger seats. No luxury. Just enough room to transport 3 lions over 7,000 miles to safety. The journey takes hours. Every moment brings them farther from danger. And finally, after crossing continents, they arrive. For the first time in years, These lions step onto vast open land where they can roam freely without fear. No explosions, no destruction, no uncertainty, just freedom. Watching them disappear into the landscape is a reminder of why every rescue matters. But while exotic animals capture headlines, some of the most heartbreaking stories are happening much closer to home. Every day, overcrowded shelters face impossible decisions. Dogs wait behind cages hoping someone chooses them. Many never get that chance. Some are euthanized simply because there isn't enough space. So we set ourselves a new challenge. Save 100 dogs. Not someday. Today. Families begin arriving. Children meet puppies. Parents fall in love with rescue dogs. One by one, tails start wagging. But the younger dogs aren't the only ones who need help. Older dogs often wait the longest. They get overlooked, passed by, forgotten. One of them is a senior dog who's spent years waiting for someone to choose him. And then something incredible happens. A family looking specifically for an older companion meets him. Within minutes, a connection forms. The dog that almost nobody noticed finally finds a home. Moments like these happen again and again throughout the day. More adoptions, more happy endings, more lives changed forever. By sunset, all 100 dogs have found loving families. But we're nowhere near finished, because our next rescue involves animals that were only days away from becoming food. Tiny miniature horses stand inside an auction facility, waiting for buyers. Many won't be purchased as pets. Many won't be purchased as companions. Instead, they're being sold for slaughter. We couldn't allow that to happen. So we bought every single one. Now begins a completely different challenge. Finding homes. Families arrive from across the region. Children instantly fall in love. Owners with existing horses offer safe places to live. What began as a tragedy slowly transforms into a celebration. One horse gets adopted, then another, then another. Within days, every miniature horse has somewhere safe to go. Exactly as they should. At this point, we've saved hundreds of animals. But one unusual resident still needs help. An emu named Stompy. Stompy has spent so much time around horses that he practically believes he's one of them. Unfortunately, that creates a serious problem. A single accidental kick from a horse could be devastating. So instead of waiting for disaster, we build him a dedicated sanctuary, a place designed specifically for emus. More space, more safety, and most importantly, a companion. When Stompy finally enters his new home, his curiosity takes over immediately, exploring every corner, inspecting every tree, meeting his new friend. For the first time, Stompy has a place built entirely around his needs. And while Stompy gains a home, our next rescue gives an animal something even greater. Freedom. A sea lion named Gertrude was once trapped inside dangerous fishing nets. The injuries nearly killed her. Months of rehabilitation followed. Now comes the test. Can she return to the ocean? The gate opens. For a brief moment, she hesitates. Then she hears the waves. And she's gone, racing toward the water, toward freedom, toward the life she almost lost. Watching her disappear into the ocean is unforgettable. But there are still hundreds of animals left to save. So the mission expands. Across rainforests, wildlife centers, rehabilitation facilities, and sanctuaries, animals receive the help they've desperately needed. Rare anteaters return to the wild. Injured birds recover and fly again. Foxes are rescued before entering the fur trade. Orphaned deer receive treatment. Turtles return to their natural habitats. Kangaroos receive specialized care after losing their mothers. Ducks receive prosthetic beaks that allow them to eat again. Wolves recover from injuries that once left them unable to stand. One rescue becomes 10. 10 become 100. 100 become 1,000. And eventually, after months of effort, countless partnerships, dedicated veterinarians, conservationists, volunteers, and supporters all working together, we reach our goal. 1,000 animals saved. 1,000 second chances. 1,000 futures protected. But here's the truth. This isn't the end. Because somewhere right now, another injured animal needs treatment. Another shelter needs resources. Another endangered species needs protection. Another rescue mission is waiting to begin. We managed to save 1,000 animals. Now imagine what could happen if millions of people decided to help. This mission may be complete, but the next one starts today.